Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at onpurposely.com.
When I was growing up, my mom and dad had chore charts for us. Do you have a chore chart where you have a list of things that you're supposed to do each day? Maybe it's that you're supposed to make your bed, or you're supposed to put your shoes away, or you're supposed to feed the dog. And, I wanted to do a good job on my chores, but sometimes I didn't get them done. I'm Julie Lyles-Carr, and this is God on the Go, part of the Purposely Podcast Network, where we help you make the minutes matter. And we're starting a new series today where we're going to be talking about what it means to get distracted, how distractions can pull us away from the things that help us have the healthiest and happiest life, how distractions can pull us away from focusing on God, how distractions can pull us away from doing the things that we're supposed to do. To be distracted means that you're going one direction and then all of a sudden you kind of veer off and head off toward doing something else. And it's part of how our brains work. We like something that looks new. We like something that is different than what we're currently doing. But it can be a real challenge when we have an important job to do and we get distracted. There was someone in the Bible who needed to be really careful not to get distracted. His name was Nehemiah, and he was a cupbearer to the king in a country called Persia. But originally, Nehemiah's family was from Israel. And so here he is in this country, a long way away from his home. He's trying to do a good job for the king, do the things he's supposed to do. But he hears about something that really has him worried. You see, there were still some people living in Jerusalem, but things were really bad there. Jerusalem had been conquered. That means that their enemies had come, they had broken through the city walls, they had come through the gates, and they had taken a lot of people into slavery. There were a few people who were still living there, but things were really, really hard, and they didn't have any defenses. All these other enemies then were coming against the people still living in Jerusalem. Nehemiah heard about this, and he thought, wow, somebody needs to do something about this. And with God leading him, Nehemiah decided he needed to go to Jerusalem and he needed to help rebuild the walls so that the people living there would have better protection. Well, guess what happened? Right as he got there, all kinds of distractions started. Different people were coming and saying, hey, I need to talk to you about this. And then different enemies were coming. And then there were people coming saying, there's no way you can ever get this job done. They were trying to distract Nehemiah with discouragement. He faced so many distractions as he was trying to take care of this responsibility, this thing that he had been led by God to do to help his people. But I want you to hear in our verse for today what Nehemiah says. As all these distractions are coming, as all these distractions are trying to pull him away from his responsibility, Nehemiah says, I am doing a great work and I cannot come down. That's from Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 3. I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. I have to tell you, there are some responsibilities that I have that can make it really easy for me to get distracted. There are all kinds of things I need to take care of at work and things to take care of for my family. And if there's a TV on and there's a show that looks kind of interesting, or if someone's having a conversation that sounds a whole lot more interesting than the job that I'm currently doing, I can get distracted really easy, even today, even as a grown-up. Yep, grown-ups can get distracted too. Check out this fun fact. Guess how much time we waste every day by getting distracted? I could not believe the answer to this. Are you ready? Over 2 hours a day. That's the average of how much time we can waste when it comes to getting distracted away from our responsibilities. So I'm thinking a lot about these words of Nehemiah. Whatever God has asked you to do, whether that's to feed the dog, get your homework done, help your mom unload the dishwasher, that's an important responsibility. It's a great work because it's a job that God has asked you to do. Even if it feels like a boring chore sometimes, it's still an important responsibility. Don't let somebody talk you off what you're working on. You can remember in your own heart, I am doing a great work and I cannot come down. God on the Go is sponsored by George Fox University, where each student will be known personally, academically, and spiritually. I'll see you next time on God on the Go.